Hello, people. Welcome to the Dark Farms Academy. And the same as Kembiwa. And I know it has been a long time since I came your way with some content or videos. And today I'm here again to just pick it up so that we can learn a lot and help one another. And all what I want to ask is that continue supporting us and be with us as we build this family together and help others to also know what we are doing to help this industry and also other businesses that people are trying to go into it. So let me just address this topic very quick. I know you've seen recently so many poultry farmers, especially across Africa and in Ghana. Most of them complain about the low production, yes, and this kind of wave of low production of eggs. What is causing that? So one, let's go into it very quick. The weather right now is very hot. When it says very hot, so let's try to understand how birds produce their eggs. End of the day, about 70% of the eggs birds produce is made of water. So the water that they drink is the same water that they use to produce the eggs, and the same water is what they use to cool their body system. So they use the water for two things: cooling their body system, cooling their body, and also making of eggs. So, but the bird will first use the water to cool the body before it will use the excess water to make the eggs. So when the temperature is so hot like that, when they drink the water, they're gonna use the water to cool their body first. So if there's not enough water for them, the eggs is going to decrease. So I'm trying to let you understand what is causing this kind of reduction in the system. Not only water, I'll talk about both of them. So it will reduce. And even apart from the water that they are drinking, if the water is also hot, even though it's taking water in, but it's not kind of cooling the body, so it's kind of will be panting. Though you see them opening their mouth and doing the beak will be open, and you see like it's always breathing through the beak because the day is panting, it's hot. And chicken are not birds that they can say they are sweating. You may not see the sweat because of their feathers, so they will be too much hot, accumulating the hotness in their body. So if they are drinking the water and the water is also still not cold, then it's even causing them more harm than good. Even though they are using the water, it's kind of cooling them a little bit, but they are not going to use it for anything. Now, let's go to the next one. I'll come back to address how you can solve all these things. The next one is about the litter. So, as the birds are, the weather is hot, what are the birds generating? Because if, let's say, we are all in the same room and we are a group of people in the same room and the weather is hot and all of us are sweating, what do you think? We're going to start by stinking. Everybody is going to be smelling bad, smelling different kind of, and that smell is going to generate so hard. And let's say we all of us are kind of, let me say, pooping around, like kind of that, because they are all going around, sweating, pooping around, all that. So it's going to generate a lot of heat. And the heat is what we call ammonia gas. So it's kind of a gas that is coming out because the sawdust or the gas that is coming out of their feces is kind of too hot, too very strong for them. So as they try to smell it, it suffocates them. They get suffocated. So like putting people in the room and maybe putting a hot, lighting pepper and putting them in the room. You see, everybody will start sneezing, coughing because you are not getting used to. And anyway, if you end up by adding feed or food to them to eat, the people will choke. And that is what we end up by saying they're having CRD, chronic respiratory disease, because their nostrils where they're supposed to breathe through is kind of blocked. So they're supposed to breathe through the trachea. So end of the day, it didn't block. So where the feed is supposed to pass, everything is not going. So they will start opening their mouth more. And the name of the day, if they are not able to get enough air, then you go and see them dying over there. So that's why, and when it starts to happen, that decreases the production. At times, I don't have too much time to go into it, but that will come up with the more for you to understand. So that decreases the production of the bird. So the trachea will be blocked, and end of the day, the gas within it is too high. So what you do, the sawdust is very hot and is generating too much heat for the birds. That is one. That is the second one. So the first one is the weather, which is causing all that, and with the water. And the second one is the sawdust. Now, what is the next one? I've tried to make a note of all this so that we can come and just study all of them. The next one is after using the time of feeding, after using all that, and in the time of your feeding them. So end of the day, you are feeding birds, right? Think about it. If you are eating at a time that you are so hot, you went out and you just went to play and you came in and you were eating and it's so hot, you feel like you'll be sweating so much. So because end of the day, your body is so hot and the food that you're taking in is going to digest, and as the digestion is going on, it's producing more heat for you. That's why if you're not eating, or if it has been a while you have not eaten, if you are going cold and you feel like you are shivering, because the more you don't eat and you are going hungry, you start by shivering, you start by going cold. But the more you eat, you get that kind of energy, that kind of heat, because energy is power to do something, so they're gonna generate heat. Okay, but if the heat is not, if they're eating at a time the weather is so hot, what are they going to generate? More heat for them. So at these times, I'm going to I'm going to tell you what you're supposed to do. So end of the day, we can bring this production low. So we end up. So what do we now do after all this? Because you are giving the feed to them, they are eating, they are generating more heat, and it's causing all that production to be reducing, because they need the energy and the water they are using to cool the body. So what do you need to do? One, if you want to feed them at this time of the weather, feed birds early in the morning. I know most of the time it's very hard because some of us are not there. That's what I'm saying. As I'm tea farming, I'm bringing another video telling you what another thing. But I'm not there yet. But let me continue with this. So it's very good to feed the birds early in the morning. If you want 5 to 6, that range should be feeding the birds already. Because when you do that, that time of the day, it's not so hot, so they are eating and their body temperature is down, so they will not be generating too much heat. And by the time that around that 10, 11, the weather becomes so hot, they've generated more energy from the food for their body, and end of the day, they are not going to generate that heat during the daytime, which is also hot. So you may get best out of the best at that time. But otherwise, you'll be giving them. So it's not advisable to at this time to give birds feed at daytime around 12, around 2 o'clock, and be feeding birds. And yes, they want to eat because that's how the chicken are. They're gonna go into the feed, they're eating it, but it's gonna work against them because they need that kind of coolness or that kind of calmness of their body to just generate the eggs. So now. So after you able to feed them, what time do you have to feed them again? They're going to maybe around 3, 4 thereabouts. So always make their feed. Let them eat about 40% of the feed in the morning and about 70% in the evening. So that it will take them through the night. Even when they wake up too early in the morning, they can still have feed to eat. So in the afternoon, they'll be walking around, not too much feed, but they can have some in the trough to also continue keeping them up. Now, the water, how do you solve it? You can start by introducing, ice block into the system, or ice block into your water. If you are putting the container so high out there. I know some people use it to put in the ties around it, all that. How whatever you can use it to work for you, do it. And so make sure you give them cold water. At times, even for you to pump the whole water in the daytime, you don't do that. So people, what I'm saying is that end of the day, make sure you give them cold water. So the cold water, at times people, instead of making a full container of the water out in the big container, you can just make it into pieces. So you pump a little bit of the water into the tank, let it drain, and the next time, like about 2/3 of the container or 1/3, let them drink. And as it's going down, you pump in another one again, so that it's kind of reducing how the water gets maybe a longer time in the container, so that they can drink faster before the weather get it hot. And the next one is make sure you administer vitamins, not antibiotic vitamins, people. There is difference between antibiotic vitamins and the vitamins. So the vitamins, what it does is that it increases the best electrolytes, so that it keeps them more hydrated instead of keeping them more dehydrated. What's the name? Dehydrated, or the best going dehydrated. So you administer plain vitamin to support them to be to increase their electrolyte level, to make them continue giving you that kind of production. So vitamins is not for bears that are sick. Vitamins is for normal bears. So far, the bears are there. At least every 2 weeks, if you can, give vitamins to your bears. 3 days, 4 days, continuously give it to your bears, because it support them. It's like human beings at times we need the vitamins, and most of the feed that we give to the bears at times you don't know. So give vitamins to the bears, not antibiotic vitamin. If you give antibiotic vitamin, that means you are treating a disease. But if you are treating a disease that you don't know, then that is something. So give antibiotic, give plain vitamins. If you have a lot of them on the market, maybe you know the one that best work for you. And I recommend that you don't use vitamins, the same vitamins every time. No, because some vitamins have different metrics or different composition, because some of them, the methionine, the lysine, some of them have the vitamin D, A, K, and whatever. Some of them are also having the dosage is higher than one another. Some vitamins are used for building of bones and muscles. Some vitamins are also used for healthy growth, but some vitamins also for production. So you have to know the kind of vitamins you are giving. You know, like you just go out there, you just give any vitamins. Oh, I bought a vitamins. No, what kind of vitamin did you buy? That is a question that you have to ask yourself. So I want a vitamins that will help bears to stay hydrated, increase their electrolyte level. That's what you need. And the next one is a control of the litter. At this time, don't put too much litter in your cage, because you don't generate heat. And don't let it be too low, like you go into the cage and there's no litter. No, minimize the litter at this time. And they also don't go by maybe the maximum, go by every 6 weeks. Take off the litter, put in litter, take on the litter, put in litter. And as you do that, the production is going to stay. And I also recommend that at this stage it's better for you to also boost the bears with vaccine, immune vaccine. That is the the Newcastle vaccine, because mostly if this gets choked and all this kind of thing, then it's likely to lead to Newcastle. So give them the Newcastle boost at least every 6 weeks or every 8 weeks. Give to them and let them get more immune to the system. Otherwise, till this is the time bears get so many Newcastle and CRD or that disease. There are so many medications on the market, and I can't mention all of them, but you know the best one that works for you. But read on the side of the medication before you give. And I think the next one that you have to do to control this thing that is going on is about biosecurity, which most farmers lack. Most farmers lack. Moving from one farm to another, moving from one kid to another, we have to practice biosecurity. And every day, even a little kind of water, and this weather too, things are drying up. So one day I'll talk about purely biosecurity and some of the measures that you can take, and it is going to help you very, very quick one. So people, I know this is a little bit long video, but it's very important. So don't panic when you see your eggs going down. As soon as production goes down, it's only going to come up the next following week. You give eggs, you give medication, or you do something about it. At times it takes 2 weeks. The week you're giving the medication, and the following week maybe it start picking up. So give yourself time and don't stop doing what you're doing. It's going to be tough, as a matter of fact. And even in this poultry farm recently, or what is going on, things are very tough. But don't give up. And in the end of the day, one thing I will encourage you is that the production is still going to be like that.
at the time the birds are taking the medication. But as soon apart from that, it will continue increasing. But as after the production have taken up, stay on top of what the good practice that you are doing every 2 weeks. Vitamins, and you don't need to give vitamins before you do, unless you're treating a disease. Every 2 weeks, maybe vitamins, the litter, the nuke, CLD, everything that you need to do, the water coolness and all that, feeding them early in the morning, and also maybe run 3:30 or 3 or thereabouts, 1500 we feed them. That is very cool for you to know, and I know all of us will also succeed. Until we meet next time, I say chase your dreams and money will follow you. Peace. Shalom.